Once we finally finished eating, we headed to Alice Carp, the attraction closest to the restaurant.
ここに来たのはつい数日前のはずなのに、やけに懐かしく感じちまうな。
Well, it was quite an adventure.
ここまで来たはいいが、どうすっか。浦部の手がかりでもあるがいいが。
Oh, look, there's a piglet near the entrance.
よし、声をかけてみようぜ。
We walked over and the piglet looked up as we approached, confused.
なあお前、浦部がどこに行ったか知らねえか。
A very, direct question. It shrugged. He has long hair, looks very serene. He has this crystal ball with him, and he looks kind of like a wizard. He's a wizard build. Have you seen anybody like that lately? The piglet just shook its head.
知らねえか。
Yeah, it seems like, although if even he did, Hogstein might have ordered him not to say anything.
それもそうか。黒子に頼れないとなると、自分の足で手がかりを見つけるしかねえな。
Disappointed, we turned to leave the attraction. Well, there he is. We haven't interacted with Hogstein for quite a while now. What?
この声は。おい、どこにいやがる。
Nearby, we spotted one of the Hogstein statues.
んなことより、裏目をどこにやった。タワーの前にあいつの数珠が落ちてたんだ。知らねえとは言わせねえぞ。
Really? Then he was on our side.
で、捕まえたってわけか。裏目は今どこにいる。
Where? Okay. Before we could protest, he'd hung up.
くそ、またゲームだと。
And with Urabe's life on the line.
くそ、そうとなりゃ、少しでも時間が欲しい。さっさと探しに行こうぜ。
Huh? What is it? Just as we turned to leave, the piglet tried to stop us.
んだよ、こっちは忙しいんだ。後にしてくれ。
No, if he's trying to stop us, it must be something important. Wait, I don't think he tried to stop us unless it was important. Maybe he wants to help us. The piglet nodded vigorously. See?
当てもなく探すのは確かにきついな。しゃあねえ。黒子につけようか。
Mitarashi folded his arms and frowned, but at least he stopped trying to leave. The piglet was trying hard to communicate something, but I couldn't figure out what his gestures meant.
あ？なんだそれ。
It's big? No.
おにぎりとかじゃねえの。
What? Oh my god. Even the localization? I don't know if that's actually a reference
おにぎりとかじゃねえの。
to that Pokemon, 4Kids dub. But he doesn't say donuts, he says onigiri, which is rice balls, I can't wait to eat these jelly donuts. It's like, it's not donuts, it's onigiri. Just say onigiri, or just say rice balls. Rice balls, I imagine, I don't know, maybe it is a reference to that. Because I imagine people know what rice balls, come on, they know what rice balls are. Back then, maybe for kids, the dub for just like a lot of localization back in the day. People just assume that people are ignorant of Japanese culture and don't know what a rice ball is, but It's just a rice ball. Come on. The piglet shook his head. World? Country? I think he's trying to tell us something big.
ここらで一番大きい場所ってなんだ
Oh, maybe he means the whole park. This time the piglet nodded. Oh, okay, good. The whole park. Got it.
だったら最初からそう言えよなってそりゃ無理なのか
That we can't speak. Okay, what about the park? He kept flailing his arms around, but we couldn't understand anything of what he was trying to say. I know he's trying to tell us something about a location here in the park, but... The piglet mimed a miserable sigh, as it felt bad for not being clearer.
やってられるかおい行こうぜ
If
俺なら自分たちの足で探した方が早い
we just leave it here, it's gonna be a waste of time. No, I think whatever this piglet's trying to tell us is really important. Okay. Oh, guess what? Oh, guess what, mister? I can't be bossed around. My name is Saki Inafune, and you shouldn't be so impatient. I'm pretty sure whatever he's trying to tell us is really important. I didn't like being harsh, but Mitarashi wasn't thinking clearly.
そうだなすまねえどうも俺は頭より体を動かしたくなっちまうみたいでよ
I understand how you feel, but Urabe's life is in our hands right now. We can't afford to run off half-cocked.
なあお前がいて助かった俺だけだったら勝手に突っ走ってタイムオーバーしそうだからなありがとう
Art. I do like that Saki. I mean, I don't know. In all the other routes, I feel like sometimes Saki is a little bit too passive, you know? I do like her. I do like it when she's actually putting her foot down, you know? I feel like that's what makes her at least stand out a little bit compared to a lot of, like, you know, harem protagonists or whatever. Like, just like, how about you don't, you know, how about you do what I want to do? And then you just sit down, and then I do the thing, you know? Anyway, it's gonna take forever to figure out what this piglet is trying to tell us, though. I wish we had something. Anything.
くそやっぱり全然わからねえなこのままじゃ浦部がいるアトラクションが爆破されちまっていうのによ
Wait, did you say attraction?
ワルドブーのやつが言ってただろ浦部君まろさんもろともアトラクション爆破しちゃいますってな
That was a funny imitation. That's it, that was the hint. I've been so shaken up when he said Urabe might die, I totally overlooked the most important part. Oh, I guess I didn't notice that? Actually, I noticed that. I thought that was just common knowledge. Because obviously, Urabe is definitely in one of those attractions, right? So we just narrowed it down. Hogstein said he'd blow up the attraction and Urabe. That means he's trapped inside one of the attractions. You didn't think of that, Mitarashi? I thought it was obvious, but maybe it's because we've done all the other routes, and we always, you know, when we find Urabe, or at least when we hear about Urabe being saved or whatever, he's usually in one of the attractions, usually Bizarre Planet, right? So maybe it's because I got spoiled, you know, on the other routes. That's why it's easy for me to put two and two together. And that means we can cut down our search locations quite a bit. And, you know, multiple times actually, we have that same, I guess, revelation, you know, where we have to find like one particular attraction to go to. We always narrow it down. It always happens. The piglet nodded encouragingly. So, if we can just figure out which attraction it is... He jumped up and down. Well, this is the same gesture as before. Are you telling us which attraction? Jumping over? Oh, do you mean an attraction we've already finished? Really? Okay. Usually it's the opposite.
どうやら当たりみたいだな。ていうか、お前あのジェスチャーでよくわかったな。
I couldn't have done it without you.
よし。これでようやくそれらしい情報が得られたわけだ。
So if it is an attraction that's already been played, it means that, well, obviously the Bloodstained Hotel was exploded, so it's not that one. So I guess it's either Samurai Fantasy 7, Alice cart, which is this one, which we assume is not this one because we already looked at it, I guess. We already asked the piglet. So, like, it's either Moonlight Ox or Samurai Fantasy 7, right?
黒子もヒントありがとうな
I get it. If it's an attraction we've already beaten, then it won't interfere with the game the others are playing if Hogstein blows it up. Okay, let's run through the attractions we finished.
ここに来るまでに血まみれホスピタルには行ったし今いるのがアリスカートだろ武士道ファンタジー7だ
We both said it at the same time. What about Moonlight Ox? But I guess technically we haven't been there, so maybe it doesn't count?
よし急ぐぞ
I guess not. We waved goodbye to the piglet and took off at a run. Our destination was the attraction we visited on the very first day, Samurai Fantasy 7. When we arrived, we found that the doors to Samurai Fantasy 7 had been shut tight.
どうなってやがるんだ場所はここで間違ってないはずだろ
Yeah, I thought so too.
あそこに黒子がいるしちょっと聞いてみようぜ
But when we asked about Urube, the piglet just shrugged.
外れってことか
Did we misinterpret what the piglet was saying? Or had that been just another trick to lure us into Hogstein's trap?
他に手がかりもねえししらみつぶしに探すには時間が足りねえ黒子のヒントが正しいとしてもよ他にクリアしたアトラクションなんてないぜ
I mean... Other attraction. Something felt wrong. Hold on a minute. I think... Let me just say... Probably gonna be explosive insight. And the answer is gonna be obvious, I think, because I've already said it, right? Yeah. I think the characters don't realize this because I guess from their perspective it makes sense. They've only played the first 3 games, or yeah, the first 3 games. They've never personally went to Moonlight Ox, and maybe if you were playing this route first, maybe it would be something that you wouldn't think of. You know? Hogstein said he was really excited to have 2 games today. Everybody else is out playing a game, but Shido said that yesterday they almost didn't make it, so I'm kind of worried. What game is today? I think Shido said yesterday's game was Moonlight Ox. Well, I'm gonna press that first. I'm gonna read the rest anyway, even though I know the answer. We've got our own things to worry about though. We need to save Urube! We went to Hogstein and asked him to stop the game and let us go. Or he went to. Yeah, he went to Hogstein. He's trapped in one of the attractions we've already finished. I wonder if Urube's okay. I hope Hogstein's hurting him. We finished 3 different attractions so far. We've been to Alice Cart, and there's not much left of Bloodstained Hospital, but we visited it anyway. There wasn't anything left, it's just a crater. So I thought Samurai Fantasy 7 had to be the answer, so why is it wrong? Which one is it? I can't believe Samurai Fantasy 7 isn't the right one. We haven't finished any other attractions, what am I missing? What am I missing? I don't know what I'm missing. I mean, I assume I have the right answer, but just in case, how about I put that in there, maybe put that in there, why not? But I assume the answer is yesterday. I mean, I guess it is pretty tricky. I can imagine how you would forget about that, because it's only mentioned in passing. If this was the first route you would do, right? Anyway, that's it. It doesn't have to be you and me that beat the attraction, it just has to have been beaten. Maybe Urube's at that Moonlight Ox thing they did yesterday.
今までにクリアしたアトラクションってそういう意味か毎度のことだがよくひらめいたな
He grinned and patted my head. He always does that. It's nice to be appreciated and all, but I feel like he's still treating me like a kid.
あどうしたそんな顔して
I'm fine, it's just, I feel like you always treat me like a kid. we just say exactly what... Yosaki just says exactly what she's thinking. I guess, at this point. He blinked.
そうか高校生とはいえお前もれっきとしたレディーだったな
Legally speaking, I guess, in Japan. He took his hand off my head. He didn't have to stop that part. Wait, what am I thinking? Anyway, we should get going.
ああそうだな 早いとこ浦部を助けに行かねえと。
I mean, it really is. That I mean, I guess that's why that's a demographic. You know, demographic is just teenagers, and I'm playing this game. I mean, I'm obviously not in high school anymore, so I mean, maybe that's why I complain about that a lot. I just can't relate to the character as often, you know? They have to be the same age as me. But, I don't know. Well, it depends on how the character is written. You know, not just because of their age. Anyway, by the time we reached the Moonlight Ox attraction, the sun had already gone down. We didn't know the way there, and we had gotten lost even after going back to the plaza to check the map. It's so pretty. Even though I knew it was just a theme park attraction, the towering spaceship standing in front of the night sky was breathtaking. No, you're breathtaking. Wow. I kind of forgot that this place was made for people to have fun. If we weren't fighting for our lives, we'd been having a great time here. We'd be having a great time. As we moved closer, my phone began to ring. Who could... Oh, Shido. I thought we couldn't contact anyone during a game. What am I doing? I need to answer it. Hello? What? His voice was so loud and furious, I almost dropped my phone in surprise. I could hear someone else's voice behind Shido, possibly telling him to calm down. Okay, that's what it was. I thought he was like talking to himself, but it's probably someone else. We're just sequence breaking, Shido, don't worry about it. Yeah, sorry. We're at Moonlight Ox. We think Urube might be inside. His voice sounded dark. Is something wrong? Wait. I thought we weren't allowed to contact each other during the games. Okay. Without waiting for my assent, he launched into an explanation of Moonlight Ox. The basic game had you pairing up, getting on the small ship, trying to escape the colony. We would be fighting aliens, and they could be defeated by shooting the jewels on their foreheads. Of course, our ship would have a jewel too, and if that was hit, it'd be game over. You know, you could just give us the password, by the way. I assume Moonlight Ox, right? They beat the game, they should have the password. You should just give us the password. Okay, forks, got it. Forks and spoons and knives. I'm sure it will. Thanks. We'll handle it from here. Shido hung up and I shut my phone and slipped it back into my pocket. You know, I don't think Mitarashi said anything that whole conversation. I looked over to see him standing completely still, his mouth hanging open as he stared at the rocket. Oh, he does love amusement park attractions. What? His face was slack with awe and delight. Wow, he's really into it, isn't he? I had a feeling he liked theme parks already, but geez, he's not kidding around. His face was so open and innocent and just genuinely happy that I couldn't help smiling. Haha, sure. Well, I was just thinking that you obviously like parks like this, and how cute that is. I laughed again and he blushed bright red.
別に俺が特別遊園地好きってわけじゃなくてだな。たまたま店の客で来てた女が好きでいろいろと話を聞いただけだ。
It's not like I like theme parks or anything, Baka. Ha 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 ha. Saki just laughed.
あとなんだ。男の俺が可愛らしいなんて言われても嬉しいわけねえだろうが。
Well, I mean, in English, you can call a guy cute, I guess. But I guess in Japanese is a different connotation. Kawaii definitely is different in Japanese. So usually you don't call a guy kawaii, I guess, you know? Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to tease you or anything. It was a compliment. But he just blushed again and let out another burst of laughter. It's kawaii, kawaii. I mean, I guess it means the same thing. But like, it means specifically something that's like, I guess cute. I don't know how to explain it. Kawaii.
そうだよ。俺はテーマパークとか遊園地とか大好きなんだよ。別に文句ねえだろ。
I guess the opposite would be kakui, which is cool. But kawaii is different, I guess I don't know. For some reason, it just reminds me of just randomly, but it kind of reminds me of how Kirby, Kirby from Nintendo, the pink ball character that sucks up everything to attain their powers. It just reminds me of how, like in the Japanese version, Kirby is like smiling, right? He's just meant to be marketed as simply cute, right? As kawaii. But when it was localized in America, like Kirby is actually angry. The expression, they changed Kirby's expression to be frowning and always being angry, because I guess if they didn't do that, Kirby would be too cute, I feel like there's a cultural difference there. Anyway, he loves theme parks. He was trying to his best to sound serious, but even Mitarashi couldn't make an admission of love for theme parks sound threatening.
大の大人が遊園地好きっていうのはもう恥ずかしくてな。お前だから言ったんだからな。他の奴らには秘密にしてくれよ。
Of course, cross my heart. I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy he told me about his parents and this. I feel kinda special. I would have liked to meet him or make him squirm a little longer, but we have things to do. Is Saki a sadist? That was Shido on the phone. He told me a little about this attraction we're about to go into.
電話？禁止されてるんじゃなかったか？
I guess he made some kind of deal with Hogstein.
そいつは助かるな。詳しく教えてくれ。
As quickly as I could, I went back over everything Shido has said. Fade to black explanation. And then we go into it. It was so dark I could barely see the piglet waiting at the entrance. With a few gestures, it guided us to a small spaceship.
よし。ここからが本番だな。
We're gonna have to beat this with just the two of us. Shido said they had a pretty tough time. I wonder what's out there. I shivered a little when I remembered that our lives and Urube's were riding on one mysterious game.
どうした？怖いのか？
Isn't that impossible, actually? Like, you can't finish this game, is the thing. Because you need, like, 3 simultaneous shots. Or is it 3 or maybe 4, actually? I think it was 4 simultaneous shots for the final boss. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. He paused, halfway into the ship. I'll say I'm fine, whatever. I don't think it matters too much. I'm fine.
頼もしいじゃねえか。でも足が震えてるぜ。
Well, so much for that. We climb into the spaceship. But just before it began to move, the power for the entire attraction shut off with a whump.
真っ暗じゃねえか。
Oh no, did we run out of time already?
おい、どういうことだ。まだ制限時間には余裕があるはずだぜ。
In response, a familiar voice cackled over the PA. Really?
おい、浦部はどうなるんだ。ここまで来て足止め食らっちまったら タイムリミット過ぎちまうじゃねえか。
I guess we're not gonna play the game? I thought we were gonna play. I think he said to go to the game, but. Okay. Why not, I guess. I thought we were gonna just save a little bit and then that'll be that, but you know, that would be too fast, I guess. You had to like time it properly, you know? Then the speaker went quiet. So he wants to run both games at the same time.
くそ、俺たちにとっては命がけでも奴にとっちゃ遊びってことか。
We barely got started. You know, it was like building up to the fact that we would actually do the game in this attraction, but I guess not. It just got canceled. It got postponed. He let out a frustrated sigh.
何にせよ、今日はここで夜明かしだな。ほら、こんなんでもないよりマシだろ。
Not gonna be very comfortable though. I guess we're stuck here. I guess yeah, because technically the way it works is that the ship does go away, you know, after the game is finished and everything, and everyone goes back to the hotel. I guess the ship does ride off. You know, we can't exactly just go back, or can we? I can't remember. I don't know the rules about that. But I assume Mitarashi and Saki are just gonna be here until the next day. He pulled off his coat and draped it around my shoulders. Oh, thank you. The coat still carried his warmth and a little of his smell. It smells like chicken. Maybe the darkness was just making my other senses more sensitive, but it felt like he was very close. Oh geez, my heart's really starting to go at it. Doki doki. Aren't you cold?
俺は大丈夫だ。と言いたいところだが、確かにちょっと肌寒いな。
Then I tried to give his coat back, but instead he slipped under it as well. Gotta share your warmth, you know, number one rule. Share your body heat.
そういうわけで、こうするしかねえか。
He does look like a villain though. When you like look at him from the side, he looks like a video game villain. I don't know. Anyway, he pulled me so close, or rather he pulled me close, so we were both covered. I could almost hear his heart beating. I don't know, it just reminds me, yeah. I think it's because of his eyes for some reason. Like for some reason there's like I don't know, his eyeliner or something. But usually when someone's a bad guy in like an anime or something, they usually have like a weird dark thing around their eyes. But not usually, I guess. It usually indicates they're evil, but you know, sometimes they're not actually, you know. Anyway. Oh.
こうすれば暖かいだろ。
Our faces were so close, if I moved, they might touch. I could see myself reflected in his eyes. My breath caught in my throat, and he turned his head a little to the side.
ち、なんか照れるな。仕事じゃ恥ずかしいなんて感じたことはねえんだが。
There was something almost boyish about his embarrassment. We could die at any time. we could die at any time. Why was I thinking about him like that? It hardly seemed like the right time. Like this Otome game just keeps ignoring the fact that we could really just die at any time, but nope. Gotta get a boyfriend. That's the name of the game. Well, not really, but you know, it's the genre of the game anyway. Do I have feelings for him? I thought back to when I read the word friend in my uncle's text and felt that there was something off about it. I get it now. Mitarashi was more than a friend. He had been for a long time. But we were in the middle of a game. I didn't have time to love. I didn't want to give him another thing to worry about. I had to do something though, or I was going to go crazy. Maybe. Ryusei, I...
龍二だ。
Ryuji. Wrong name. What?
龍星は源氏名だ。本名は龍二ってんだ。
Really? That's news to me. Ryuji. I listened to each syllable as I said it, savoring the feeling.
お前や過去のこともいろいろ話しちまったからな。まあ、ついでってやつだ。
You didn't have to do that.
その丁寧語もやめろ。いい加減むずがよくて仕方ね
Yeah, that's the thing, by the way. I've noticed. I mean, again, it's just a date. It's like, you know, it's a romance dating sim trope, but I've noticed, I think I mentioned before, every single husbando, they always tell us their life story and everything. But why doesn't Saki tell her, you know, her life story? You should trade stories, you know? That way you can be equal. Yeah, but no, Saki does not share her life story because I guess she doesn't have one. Because she's just, you know, she's like an empty vessel for the player. Kind of like Link from Zelda. Even though it is implied, though, she does have a certain type of personality and everything. So, I don't know. If you, I mean, yeah, sure thing. You know, wouldn't it be funny if I just gave her a goofy voice from the very beginning? Sometimes I do that. It was so warm and safe next to him that I could already feel myself beginning to fall asleep. Good night, Ryuji. And then skip this thing, the pendant dream, a locket. What do you call a locket? The locket dream. Hogstein's voice was a rude awakening in more ways than one, as was the realization that we slept until noon. Mitarashi lifted himself up from our makeshift bed and stretched. Yeah, my shoulders hurt too. Yeah, it probably isn't very comfortable, as I said before. It wasn't surprising, really. The spaceship was hardly comfortable. Besides, it wasn't the most restful sleep. Hard to stay cool when you're sleeping next to somebody like Ryuji. Well, we did spend all day running around the park, and you ate about 20 pounds of meat. It always puts me right to sleep. Right, I mean, yeah, darn right I will. This might take a little getting used to. Anyway, I should concentrate. The others are playing their game right now, too. We need to do our best. You have to play the game properly now. As the announcement played, the ship slowly began to move. He nodded to himself and began to look around the ship. Ryuji gave the stick a few experimental pushes and the ship turned left and then right. I think it's that jewel on the front of the ship. Kido said those jewels are the weak point on the enemies and on us. I'm actually skipping the dialogue. Want to hear that again? Ryuji took the gun and I took the stick, as always. We never get the gun. Why do we never get the gun? The ship moved through the colony as we got ready to fight. In the cockpit was a digital display of the entire colony, showing what I assume was our current location and the location of the exit. Wait, what's this? In addition to our location and the exit, there were several other points on the map marked E. I looked up and right in front of us was an alien. With a roar, Ryuji fired, and one of his shots hit the jewel on the alien's forehead. The jewel turned bright red and the alien sunk down to the floor. Whoa! Suddenly the ship shook and suddenly the ship shook and we were under attack.
後ろか
I leaned on the stick and spun the ship around.
後ろからなんざ舐めて真似しやがって今度はこっちから何
Nani? Oh my gosh. But it wasn't an alien, it was Urube, tied to a cross. Urube.
おい浦部聞こえるか
His hands and feet were tied, and his head hung limply between his shoulders. He's unconscious. Whoa!
攻撃された
Another shot fired from the cross barely missed the bow of our ship.
畜生どうすりゃいいんだ十字架を攻撃したら浦部に当たっちまう
Shoot him anyway. No. As the next shot flew past us, I thought I saw a flash of blue behind the cross. Wait, is there something? That looks like a jewel. Of course, there's an alien hiding behind the cross. Shoot the blue light behind the cross.
青い光あれか
Ryuji lined up his shot, squinted, and pulled the trigger. Almost as if it could see its death coming, the alien fired off a last desperate volley. What? But he hadn't aimed at the ship, he aimed at me! Not again.
Saki! 危ね
Ryuji dropped the gun and threw his arm out desperately in front of my face.
え
Ryuji! This is like the second time, someone shot like a rubber bullet at me and then someone else had to cover. Once again. Okay, fine, I'll say, Daijoubu? Are you okay?
結構効くなだがそんなことよりまた丁寧語になってるぜ
I could see sweat beading on his forehead, but he still gave me a grin.
俺のことより浦部
After Ryuji shot the alien, the cross Urube had been tied to had sunk into the floor.
くそ浦部が盾にされてると分かった以上うかつに攻撃できねえじゃねえか
He sounded ecstatic, like a kid showing off a new toy.
てめえ卑怯な真似しやがってさっきのは一体どういうつもりだ
Connected? How so? Hogstein explained that whenever the others made a mistake in their game, the cross with Urube on it would show up in ours. Okay, interesting. It's like a weird asymmetrical co-op thing going on. That meant their mistakes would affect us, and if we accidentally shot Urube, then they'll definitely freak out when they learn what was going on. There was no doubt Hogstein had engineered the whole thing just to get to us. Well, I mean... As I said before about how, less than lethal weapons, not exactly non-lethal. And then he hung up. We can't afford to make any mistakes.
おい肩に力が入りすぎだぜあんま気にするな
He laid his hand on my head.
わざわざ俺たちに言ったってことは俺たちの動揺も誘ってるってことだいい加減奴の考えることが読めてきたぜ
I nodded and took a deep breath. We let the ship carry us forward, worrying every moment that Urube's cross might suddenly appear.
分かれ道か一体どっちに進みゃいいんだ
Hold on, let me check the map. One path led to the exit and the other led to one of the E points. Cheeto said these choices are really important, We don't really might want to make a rash decision here. We don't want to head straight for the exit or see what that E is. This reminds me of every time we had the decision in every other route where we actually do this part. We always go I think always go for E, right? But then we always die or something happens along the way. I think it was Shido that was the only time where things didn't go too wrong. I mean, we can't really head for the exit. Heading for the exit, actually, knowing this from the other routes, actually activates the time limit early. Which we don't want. We should find the passwords first, right? I want to know what the E is. No, Mitarashi, this is the wrong way. I thought about that, but it seems so obvious. What if it's a trap? Maybe you get like a bad end if you go to exit first. I don't know. Or maybe this is the bad end. I nodded and turned our ship toward the branch of the fork. Well, not really a bad end. Well, bad ends are like you get at the, when you don't have enough affection points. I guess you would call them game overs, which is different. We hadn't gone far before 3 aliens appeared and began to fire. Pew pew. Just calm down. We can focus on them one at a time. But each time we took down one, another would appear to take its place. Up ahead and between us and where the E was, I could see a lot of aliens. There's another fork coming up. I glanced down the map. A little further away on a different path was another E. I keep going and try for this other E. Multiple E's. Nani? Does it matter? Technically, we have to find all the E's anyway, so keep going. Let's just keep going. The alien barrage continued, but suddenly our own guns stopped firing. What's wrong? Nani? With nothing to keep them away, the aliens began to surround us. Is this actually game over? But before he could finish, the aliens unleashed a hail of bullets that we couldn't dodge, and then we all died. Ah! My whole body exploded with pain, and the world sound muffled. My vision began to go dark. This is it. Last thing I felt before my consciousness faded out was Ryuji embracing me, desperate to protect me until the end. And then we just died. Game over. Alright. Whoops. How would I know? You're supposed to do something else there? Try again, I guess. Okay. So, I guess don't keep going? Head for the other E. I guess because, the path we've been going through has a lot of aliens. So instead we just go to another E? Why not? Well, we can't take much more of this punishment. Let's break off and head for the other E. I pushed the stick toward our new destination. After a few minutes of traveling, we saw a large holographic E hovering in the air. I guess that's it? Our ship moved forward through the E. As it did, the gun made a strange electronic noise. What was that? Of course, the E was for energy. Okay, well, I guess the game is different, but no, I remember usually you get passwords, right, in Shido's route? But maybe this one is a modified version of the same game. But our happiness didn't last long, and Urube and his cross appeared in front of us again. Look! He carefully took aim, then squeezed the trigger. Well, you got him with one shot. As it turns out, using Urube as a human shield doesn't even, you know, slow us down, I guess. It's actually pretty useless. It only shocked us the first time, but now it's just like you can actually just, you know, ignore it. Little Base Cross didn't show up again, and we managed to safely reach the exit. This is it. It was already open. On the other side was what looked like the vast blackness of space. Okay, I guess the whole password thing did not get reset, so we could just go.
よし、これを抜けりゃここはクリアだな。
Then, out of nowhere, a massive alien appeared.
なんだありゃ。今までのとは桁違いの大きさだ。
There's the one where you gotta shoot, you know, the 4 jewels simultaneously. Look, Urube. He had been tied to the stomach of the massive alien with thick metal chains.
十字架の次はボスに貼り付けかよ。どこまでも厄介な演出だぜ。
The boss alien has 4 jewels, and each one is near one of the chains holding Urube.
とりあえずやるしかねえか。
He aimed the top right jewel and fired. How are we gonna do this with only one gun? The jewel turned red and the chain holding Urube's right arm popped off. Oh, okay. I guess it doesn't matter, we could just shoot. His arm hung limp, moving as the alien did, it looked like he was still unconscious. The jewels are connected to his chains.
ってことは、このまま攻撃したら残りの鎖が外れて浦部が地面に落ちちまうじゃないか。
So I guess the rules are different. The alien was pretty high up. If Urube fell, there was a good chance it would kill him. Huh. I didn't really imagine where he was exactly. But what should we do? Then suddenly the boss alien stopped.
来るぞ。
It sped toward us much faster than I would have guessed something that big could move. As he passed overhead, he fired, his shot slamming into our ship. Yeah! The whole ship shook.
攻撃力もボス級ってわけか。このまま何もしないでいてもまずいな。
Okay, well, let's shoot the left foot so he won't just go flying off.
オーケー、任せな。
His shot smacked into the bottom left jewel, and the chain fell away, leaving Urube's left leg swinging through the air. Alright, his left arm and right leg are still on there, so it's not like he's gonna fall.
残りは2箇所。さあ、これからどうする？
We have to figure out a way to beat the boss and save Urube. As I was talking, it stopped, turned, and then charged. Just like before, it flew over our ship, raining down attacks from above. Justice rains from above.
Saki, ハンドルを切れ。
Right. I slammed the stick to the side. One of the boss's bullets shot past, barely missing our jewel. If I hadn't turned the ship when I did, we would have been toast. That was close.
こっちの宝石に当たっちまったら一発でおしまいだ。
How can we save Urube and defeat the boss? I don't know. Some kind of intuition thing we need to do? Insight? I wonder? I'm saving, though. If we could just catch Urube before he hit the floor... Wait, catch. I think I might be onto something. Okay. How's this gonna work? I don't know. Alright, let's run over the facts. Whenever the boss stops, we have to watch out because that means it's about to charge. It's really huge. I don't know how something that can move so fast. Really fast. When it flies over us, it fires a whole bunch of bullets. The boss flies right over the spaceship. It's so huge the shadow it casts is a little scary. If even one of those bullets hits our jewel, it's game over. That means the best time to attack it is probably right before it charges us when it stops. When it's holding still, it's really easy to hit the jewel. There are 2 jewels left, but if we shoot them out, Urube will fall. We have to be careful, we don't shoot the chains off before we're ready. If he would just wake up. If all the chains are shot off and Urube is released, we have to keep him from hitting the ground. If Urube hits the floor from that high up, I don't know if he'll make it. How can we keep him from falling to his death? I don't know. Flies, I mean, I guess basically do air shots, you know? Shoot him out of the air. Maybe that'll help. Right before, and then maybe, I don't know, charge. Let's try that. Ta-da! It's kind of weird because we're in this like background and everything, but usually when we, at least the last time we fought this boss in Shido's route, we would do it, you know, beyond the gate. But I guess we're fighting it in this area, which is weird. I don't know. Anyway, flies over, of course. We need to shoot the jewels out right as the boss flies over us. That way we can catch Urube when he falls. Oh, easier said than done, Saki. It should work. In theory, I gotta admit I don't like our odds here, but we don't have a choice. He grinned. Ryuji hefted the gun and took aim. The bullet hit the jewel next to Urube's right leg. With a clang, the chain detached and he was hanging by only his left arm. Ah. Right. I nodded and concentrated on adjusting our heading to the alien's movements. Before long, it stopped moving. Ryuji shoved the gun into my hands. Wait, what? You want me to shoot? Oh, that means finally we get to use the gun, but you know, we have to do the hard part though. He wrapped my fingers around the gun's grip and gave me a calm smile. Right, I'll do it. Even though, you know, I have no practice of this. You've been doing all the shooting and having all the fun, and now I have to do the most difficult shot. Almost like it had been waiting for me, the boss began to charge. And then we miss, and then just accidentally shoot Urube in the face, and then that'll be that. No. Right, I can do this. Just gotta calm down. The boss lifted his own gun and aimed it at us. Ute! Oh jeez, I hope this works. I grabbed the gun with both hands and pulled the trigger. I did it. I got it. The last jewel turned red, the chain holding Urube's left arm released. For a moment, he seemed to hang in midair. Kanada! Tetsuo! Ryuji jumped. He got him. Urube dropped into Ryuji's outstretched arms, knocking him down the ship's seat. Are you alright? Thank goodness. I slumped back in my chair as the adrenaline left and exhaustion hit me full in the face. Congratulations. You did it. With nothing else to stand in our way, we flew out the exit, boiled? How you say that? Or booyed? Booyed? But I can't say that word. How you say that word again? Booyed. We're being, I guess, you know, like floating, you know? Like, you know, being like held up by our success. Whatever. Buoyed? Boiled? Booyah? Booyed? Buoyed. Boyd. Boy, I can't say that word. I don't know how you say that word. The spaceship soared silently through space. It was only made for 2 people, so Urube's unconscious body made it a bit crowded, but we managed. Wow. I let out a sigh. Even though I knew we were just moving down a track, it really seemed like we were flying through space. The stars seemed to brighten and dim along the ship as we moved. I looked over at Ryuji. His eyes were shining as bright as the stars, and he was practically bouncing up and down his seat. His excitement is kind of infectious. Don't fall off. Look at him. We could tease him, you know, we could like poke at his insecurity. Or you can just agree. Oh, we'll just agree. I know, it's so cool. It's so cool. I really feel like I'm flying in space.
本来楽しむためにあるんだからよ。
Totally. This stuff is fun no matter how old you are.
なんだかお前といると調子が狂うぜ。
Huh?
今まで会ったことがないタイプってことさ。店の客と一緒に来たら間違いなく子供みたいって
I
言わ
mean,
れちまうか
I
ら
could have chose that option, you know, but it seemed rude.
遊園地を一緒に楽しめるってのはちょいと照れくさいけど嬉しいぜ。さてボスも倒したし浦部も助けた。これでこのアトラクションも終わりか。
I hope so. Oh, then suddenly 2 aliens appeared in front of us, and it turns out it's not over yet. Which is surprising, actually.
やっぱそう簡単にはいかねえか。
Well,
何後ろおや横か。
2 more had appeared behind us, as well as 1 on either side. We were completely surrounded.
最後の山場ってやつか。
What should we do?
よしハンドルを思い切り切れ。これでも勝ってくらいにな。
Okay. I lean into it with all my weight.
くらえ。
We're just like in a spin. Pew 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 pew. As we spun, Ryuji fired off shot after shot like a tornado. Bullets filled the air around us, some of them slamming into the end and stopping them in their tracks. And one by one they started to fall, a hail of bullets smashing into their jewels. Wow, that was amazing. Even though we're up against the wall, he never loses his cool. Finally, the alien sunk down into the floor, but before Ryuji could shoot the final one, the gun clicked empty. Oh no.
肝心な時に
Did we?
玉切れだ。
Well, that means you have to go up and punch the last one with your fist. Maybe. The final alien hefted his gun and moved toward us. There's no way he'll miss at that range. I threw myself over Urube. We only just saved him. There's no way I'm letting them kill him now if I can help it. Ryuji looked at me and grinned, then squeezed on my shoulders.
大丈夫だ。俺に任せろ。
Is he gonna do that? Is he actually gonna do it? He leapt up to the top of our ship.
そこそこ気に入ってたんだが壊れちまっても仕方ねえか。
Oh, he's gonna do something. What was he talking about? I don't know. As I watched, he began to remove his belt. I don't know if there's a time for this. I know we're gonna die and everything, but is this really the best time to be taking your clothes off?
別に変なことしようってわけじゃねえよ。この先端のバックルを。
He carefully took aim at the alien. Okay. Alright, CG for this.
宝石にめがけて。
He's gonna use his belt as like the whip thing, and then I don't know. I guess they try to make this as badass as they could in the CG. Sounds kind of silly though. He takes off his belt. Isn't his pants gonna fall off? Let me see his underwear. Well, he snapped out his belt like a whip, and the hard metal buckled smacked into the alien's jewel. There you go. Not exactly punching, but I guess something similar. I was expecting him to punch. I was expecting him to just jump off the cart and then just to run up to the alien and punch it in the face, you know? Anyway, yay! Yatta! The last alien sunk down to the floor with an explosive noise.
ここまで近づいたのが運の尽きだったな。
Ryuji, with his belt off, his pants begun to slip.
おっと、悪い悪い。
I only got a quick glimpse, but it looked like he was wearing something cute, something unexpected. What? He's wearing pink panties. No,
っておい、何顔赤くしてんだよ。バッチリ見てたのかよ。
or like maybe his underwear has like a, you know, teddy bear pattern or something. I don't know. No, nothing. Oh, look, the exit. As red as my face was, Ryuji was even redder, and I got the feeling we were both happy for something to distract us from that. So we slid through the exit, with Urube safe and Moonlight Ox finally finished. There you go. Did it. Well, the sun set already. Urube was still unconscious, so we had to carry him out of the attraction. At least this time Urube isn't as soaked, you know? At least there's that. His voice echoed across the darkened park. I'd expected a comeback, but Hogstein appeared to be thinking about something. Okay. What? Alright, we are gonna go exactly to where he is. Usually never turns out, you know, good when we do that. Often he ambushes the characters when they always go to his castle or something. This seems awfully suspicious, but it's the best chance we have right now to save my uncle and the other hostages. His breath tickled my ear as he whispered. But what if it's a trap? Are we? As long as Ryuji and I are together, we can beat any trap. Let's go. Those hostages are waiting for us. He grinned. With a click, he hung up. It was pretty apparent that, that Urube had been knocked out with some sort of chemical, so there's no way to know when he might wake up. Let's head over to the plaza. If the others are done with their game, maybe they're waiting for us. Oh, okay. Well, I thought they already went to the ship. Or maybe not? I guess not. Anyway. We headed off toward the plaza, Urube draped over Ryuji's shoulders. I don't know, what did I say before? I remember saying something how like we should have just met up with everyone. But I guess the Hogstein would have prevented that, right? Or something? No, well actually no, it was I remember now. It was the day before the Moonlight Ox thing with Mitarashi and Saki would actually be a thing. They slept in the ride because I thought like why couldn't they just go back to the hotel? I guess because the hotel already left. Is what I was thinking. But this is a new day, and so therefore, you know, everyone is still around after they just finished the game. And when we reached the plaza, we found the rest of our team waiting there, just as we expected. Even though they joked and needled each other, I could tell Ryuji and Shiro were both happy to see the other was alright. You're all okay. I assume they did the rhythm game, you know, the animal one, animal band. The cry on command, eh? Well, I'm glad you guys are okay. Also, Saki tends to laugh. In Mitarashi's route, she laughs a lot. Ha 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 ha. I couldn't have done it without Ryuji. I glanced over at him and he looked away, blushing. Oh, this is his real name. You shouldn't say that. It's a secret. Ah, jeez. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I should have called him Ryusei or something. Oh man, it's not really that big a difference though. Ryusei, Ryuji, you know, it's like very similar. Suddenly, everyone seemed to be looking at us. Well, we didn't really do anything. Why are they all looking at me like that?
そういうわけか。二人で行動を共にするうちに仲も深まった
Yet again.
ってところか。
He nodded in some approximation of sage understanding, but Wakasa still looked confused.
龍二龍星もしかして龍二っていうのがみたらしさんの本名なの？
ああ、そうだよ。文句あっか。
He tried to look threatening, but the redness on his cheeks made him more adorable than ominous. He's just very tsundere.
いやー、文句なんかないけどさ。なんか意外な組み合わせだな。そうか、二人がね。
What are you suggesting?
別にアイドルの僕には関係ないことだしね。
The attractive, talented, available pop star is suggesting nothing. We already did your route, Wakasa. Your bad ending really, well, I don't know. The bad ending really just maybe is not exactly what he truly is, but you know, it's something he can be. And it really is like, I don't know, I don't like that side. That side where he's like, actually, you were just a one-night stand, Saki. Goodbye. You know, is what he basically was in his bad ending anyway. Obviously, he's not canon, but you know, that's how he can be, I guess. Sometimes. He shoved his hands into his pockets and pouted. Is he jealous?
くそ、なんて呼ばれようが関係ねえだろ。ともかく浦部を頼む。
We handed him over to Shido and Shirabe.
まだ気を失ったままなのか。
Just give him a slap, you know, a few times. He'll wake up.
呼吸は安定してるようだな。何かしらの薬品で眠らされている可能性が高いが、命に別状はないだろう。
Thank goodness.
聞いてくれ。俺たちはこれから。
分かっている。タワーに向かうんだろう。
I guess they heard about that too. Huh? How do you know that?
ご丁寧にやっこさんがそう言い残してったもんでね。ここで待ってたのもそれでだ。
本当なら一緒に乗り込みたいところだが、俺たちはワルド部への謁見を許されていない。
He looked honestly disappointed.
人質は必ず助ける。お前の分も奴を思い切りぶん殴ってやるさ。
He leaned over and whispered something in Shido's ear, then glanced back at me. What are they talking about? Shido nodded and put his hand on Ryuji's shoulder.
死ぬなよ。
Try not to die. Ryuji grinned.
俺の帰りを待ってる女を絶対に泣かせやしね。
His words made my heart pound, but something felt off. What does he mean by coming back? Before I could put it together myself, Shido grabbed one of my arms. Huh? What?
お前は俺たちと一緒にホテルに向かうんだ。
What? What? You know, Saki. What he would say?
罠かもしれねえ場所にお前を連れて行けねえよ。
That's what everyone always says. But then Saki's always insists, and then they both go anyway. His eyes were so kind and almost sad. So that's what he was whispering to Shido. I pursed my lips. Angry. Saki angry. Saki go Hulk. He transforms into a giant, monster with green skin. He goes into the castle and just murders Hogstein with her bare hands. I know, I mean, yeah, I know I might get in his way, and I understand what he's thinking, but... We beat Moonlight Hawks together. We saved Urube together. He could have at least asked me instead of just telling me. That wasn't going to cut it. What makes you think I'm just gonna be like, okay, fine, and let you run off by yourself? What makes it okay for you to make decisions for me? I don't remember you asking my opinion on any of this. I'm not gonna just sit here and twiddle my thumbs. If you're gonna go save the hostages, I'm going too. And she actually, she just ends up very similar personality to Mitarashi. It just reminds me of, twiddling my thumbs. I'm not gonna just sit here and twiddle my thumbs. That's exactly what he said. Before.
お前には怒られっぱなしだな。
He grinned and held up his hands in surrender.
しゃあね。一緒に行こうぜ。
My hand claps in Ryuji's. We look up at the castle that towered above us in the night sky.
怖いか？
No way. Well, okay, a little. But I know that I'm fun as long as I'm with you.
ああ。
Or you're with me, rather.
必ずな。
He gave me a smile and squeezed my hand. I felt all my anxiety melt away. Together, we headed into the castle, to Hogstein.